Hello, everyone. It is Gerald Glassford popping in for you right here. It's our coverage of Minnesota and Denver, game five, or game six, game six. So we'll go ahead and see what happens here. Joe Soro is in the house as well.
Hi.
There he is. Absolutely.
There's a new.
I thought Sean was coming as well. We'll see.
I'm sure he'll be here in a minute.
Lakers in 4. What's up? I see you in the chat. Hope all is well. Mike Conley is available tonight. He is back in the starting lineup after sitting out game 5.
Lakers in 4. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Good to have you here.
So does Minnesota take this to 7?
I say yes. I think they've been really in a funk, but I think that they do have one more good game in them.
I'll be back, G.
You got it. It is the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us, Lakers in 4, and everybody else out there on YouTube. Truly appreciate you joining us as well. Looking forward to a good game as getting ready to set up the ball. All right, Minnesota off to the fast start. Boy, you just can't give Murray those kind of looks and expect to win the game, though. They were not doing. Oh, he got hurt. He got hurt. Doesn't seem too hurt now. Oh, you can't blow that. The one thing Minnesota needed not to do, and that was get off to a bad start, and looks like they did. Once again, it is Gerald Glassford, the Lakers Fast Break. Joe is hopefully coming back here in just a second. It is, of course, Denver and Minnesota. Denver has the early 9-2 lead.
Wow, that didn't take long.
Yep. Mistake after mistake by Minnesota. Murray looks like he has an arm issue, though. He's got it wrapped up. There you go. That's what they weren't doing in the past 3 games, is creating turnovers like that. Traveled.
And earn points for a chance to win $100,000. It's that easy. Score big with the game before the game.
Hey,
Hey,
Sean.
hey, Gerald.
Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I had the best barbecue. There's this truck. It stops at various places around Las Vegas, but man, they had the best tri-tip. They get there early in the morning. They smoke it because they have a smoker in the back. As far as the tailgate of it. Yeah, they smoke early in the morning, and it was like one day I was driving by after I dropped up on my wife. I said, I gotta go there. I gotta go. So he's not there every day. Finally showed up there and just had to try it, man. Oh, it was the die for, man.
Does he offer dry and sauce? Or
Yes, and this was
Okay.
dry, but it was juicy and seasoned.
Oh, okay.
So good. Best tri-tip I've ever had.
All right, all right. What's it called, Gerald?
It's called Frankie D's.
Frankie D's. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
How many trucks does he have? Just the one?
It's just the one. Just the
For
one.
now, for now. If you think it's good, it's gonna grow,
Well,
Gerald.
he had a line. It's like his time is around lunchtime. It's only available for like I think about 4 or 5 hours, like 10 to 3, something like that. And yeah, It's good. Really, really good. He had ribs, really good. Baked mac and cheese.
Oh,
Peach cobbler.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, if you're
All
into
right.
that. So.
Mm-hmm. So it's the best barbecue in Vegas. Plus, he makes great comfort food.
Oh yeah, yeah. And there's a lot of barbecue places here in town, but it's like some of it's just standard stuff, so it's really nothing to shout out about. But yeah,
I'm not too particular on food. That being said, with barbecue, sauce is really important. It could make or break a nice cut of beef.
yes. Oh, but man, that tri-tip was to die for.
I guess he's not gonna give away the recipe.
No, but like I said, he does get there like at 6 o'clock in the morning to start smoking it in advance.
How far away from the hospital is he, Gerald?
He's about, actually, he's just about a quarter of a mile away.
Okay, all
Yes.
right. So
When he's parked near, he goes again to separate locations. There's like 3 different locations he's at during the course of a week. But yeah, this is just, I guess he has a regular spot right near my wife's work. So yeah, it's really good, really good. All right. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys. Yeah, the other day I even had speak on top of that Japanese barbecue. It's really think of like a Korean barbecue, but even more distinct with not only a ton of stuff available for meat from high end meat like Kobe, different cuts, New York steak, things of that nature, but good ramen, sushi. Yeah, it was really good.
Kobe beef is very expensive.
Yeah, it was about excuse me, it's about $45 dollars for the Kobe, because they have 3 different kinds of, what level you want to go. If you go the Kobe level, it's like 45 per, and yeah, it was worth it. Just the cuts they just really
No, they're good. They're good. I agree. You're there, Giblet Joe?
What'd you call me?
I called you Giblet Joe.
You'll be dribbling Sean if you don't watch your mouth.
It's so funny because we keep okay. I just fielded the comments. More playbacks. We're doing more playbacks.
No one's here.
No one's here. Then I was reading through the costume. They got pissed at you for the Brawny Show, Joe, because you told somebody to go instead of debate. There was someone in the chat you wanted them to leave, and they got pissed at you for that.
Who?
Endorphin and Condor, I think. Yeah.
Oh, the same guy. Just
Yeah.
2 different handles.
Yeah. Shh. It's supposed to be a secret.
I just think too many people are buying into the hype machine.
Wow, 13-0 run. Can they make it 15 or 16? The answer is
No.
no.
Yes.
Yes. Uh-oh.
SpaghettiOs. $18 run.
See, I thought they would have one more good game in them, Minnesota. Boy, if MPJ isn't hitting for them, it makes a lot easier. It makes them a lot easier as a team to guard.
The NFL scheduling is really strange.
Yeah, it's one of the worst I've seen.
Really strange.
So, is there one game or two games on Netflix? I thought there was two. On
What's
Christmas.
that? What? I think isn't there three? I thought there was
Probably, yeah.
three.
I don't have a problem with if it's just like these some of the worst teams out there getting. You throw some of those games that are like the afterthoughts on a Sunday afternoon.
Gerald's right. It's a doubleheader, but it's a good one.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, the Chiefs and the Steelers, and then the nightcap is the Ravens at Houston.
So Joe may be watching.
Well, what time do you open presents at your house, Joe, normally?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You got kids? What do you do for Christmas? Merry Christmas?
See, that's not smart.
Go back to bed?
Yes.
That's not smart, though, Magic Man. I would, if I was the NFL, I would throw two of the games that I know do the worst on a
They don't
Sunday
do that
afternoon.
anymore in the NFL. They don't need it. They already have everything calculated.
And throw it. I would do that and throw it on Netflix.
They're scorching them at this point. 26-11.
Nice.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
I mean, like, let's say, I don't know, an Indianapolis versus Houston game, that regionally would not be very good.
Well, Anthony Richardson stay healthy. He couldn't have Florida either. If he's healthy, Indianapolis might be a pretty good team.
But I'm just saying, Indiana versus Houston. I'm talking about ratings wise.
Yeah, ratings wise, yeah, no, it's not. That's not good. That's not
Carolina
good.
versus Jacksonville. That game is probably not going to do very well. It'll still do relative as far as anything else against it, but NFL wise, the Carolina versus Jacksonville, I'd throw that on a Christmas day on Netflix and see if that gets ratings.
The problem is, Gerald, that game between the Chiefs and Steelers on Christmas Day is on Netflix. It's not on.
No, but I'm just saying, if I was the NFL, I would have thrown my junk games on Netflix and not Steelers Chiefs.
Well, didn't they have that playoff game on Peacock TV that everyone said they wouldn't watch, and Joe basically told everybody you're morons, like you're just you're complaining for no reason. It ended up with what record ratings?
Well, that's why
26 million people watched it.
But the thing is, the games that are always the teams and the games they always send to Europe that nobody would normally care about.
Oh yeah, Brazil, the Chiefs and Eagles in Brazil,
or just because they usually throw teams that they don't want, that they don't care about overseas enough. But hey, JSJ, I'm just saying, just to test out the Netflix audience on the NFL, I would have thrown like a Carolina versus Jacksonville and see if that gets big numbers.
Netflix is like Costco. Everybody has a Netflix subscription.
Oh, I know, 260 million strong. Yeah, I know that. I report on it. But I was just saying, save the.
They don't save anything. They don't have to. They already know it's going to work.
For example, the Steelers have the weirdest schedule this year of any NFL team.
I'll be right back.
They don't play a divisional opponent until week 11. That's so weird.
What the hell is that?
I think Gerald's trying to do his ham radio and communicate with us at the same time.
But Ham's been fired. Doesn't need to have a ham radio.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Oof. Close.
And it's weird too. Only half of their games are at 1:00 in the afternoon, Joe.
Half their games.
Yeah, only 8 of the 17 are scheduled for 1 p.m.
So they made it worse because Steelers don't usually play well
After 1.
after 1. Not unless it's prime time.
Well, I think they got that Monday night game against the
What's
Giants.
going on here? Why isn't this shit working?
What?
Something on my TV is not working. The fuck?
What's up, Jeff? Hey, Joe, what do you think happens first? Caleb Williams does his nails, or Aaron Rodgers gets hurt?
Nails. Oh yeah? Maybe you're a flambe.
Jets have just a brutal schedule at the end of the season. They're not going to make it.
What are you gonna do?
Seahawks, Dolphins, Jaguars, Rams, Bills, at Bills in December, and the Dolphins. Which week are you a Steeler fan too, JS? Ah, yeah, that'll be a good game. Justin Herbert versus Russell Wilson.
Herbert.
Herbert. Billy Joe Hobart versus Bobby Herbert. It's weird, eh? They spelled their name the same, but it was pronounced differently for some reason.
What the fuck? What is going on here? Why can't I go down to this?
It's like a disc. It's like a CD that wouldn't work in the '90s. Or just spit on it. That'll fix it.
Oh, there's a live feed from the TV, but it won't let me go to the guide. I don't know what the hell's going on here.
That's weird.
Tom Gugliana.
Wow, that's a blast from the past. Hey Joe, do you got an opinion about the Tyson Paul fight?
Same opinion I have again with Ronnie.
Mm.
It's just trash.
Oh, I'm not going to pay for it. I just find it interesting that Paul thinks he's got a shot. Gerald?
Last
Good.
bit of the tri-tip.
Oh, there you go. You had to save some, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It was hot. What can I say, Alan? I said it earlier. I know you weren't on. Sorry, Alan. There's this food truck. It goes to 3 different places around the city on a regular rotation. Has some of the best barbecue you've ever had. The tri-tip is absolutely to die for. So,
Beef.
he's on a diet.
The all beef diet is very nutritious, Alan. You know that.
A lot of protein.
Hey, Alan, Ronnie Coleman said he once ate like 2 pounds of chicken once during days when he was at his peak. So, Gerald,
Yes.
Chinese or Thai, if you could only pick one.
Chinese. Thai, it doesn't always agree with me.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. Chinese does more.
Maybe it's they cook a lot with peanuts in Thailand. Maybe that's it. Yeah, me too, Alan. I really enjoyed Thai food.
Oh, my family loves Thai food.
Yeah, it's great.
In fact, we just had it the other day. But yeah, I'm more Chinese. Empire Chef says Chinese or Mandarin.
Oh, now that's tougher. Oh.
Defense looks lost.
Yep. What's the best place to grab Chinese in let's say like downtown Manhattan, Jeff? Anywhere. All right. All right. I love their tea. It's very delicious.
I can tell you in Las Vegas, Magic Man, Chinatown, like it's located like halfway down. You go halfway down the strip on a street called Spring Mountain, and Chinatown is just all along both sides of it. And yeah, you could just pick and choose what you want.
Okay. You said Spring Road, Gerald.
Spring Mountain Road.
Spring Mountain Road.
Yeah. Or you just ask for Las Vegas Chinatown. And it's
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
If you want a good slice in Manhattan, go to a place called Joe's Pizza. It's always a line around the block.
Yeah, like I'm more of I'm New York style than Chicago. I'm not a huge deep dish guy. I like thin crust.
Man, it's like a war zone out there.
Yeah, you know what, Alan? They over the past since I think they learned their lessons from the bubble. They really do a good job of just cutting off anything in the middle once you get into the painted area. By the way, Gerald, I just found out that Fanatics owns Tops.
Well, you didn't know that?
I did not know that until today. No.
Yeah, Fanatics is has overtaken the industry. Yeah, I went to a premium event for mainly for the card manufacturers and top distributors in Las Vegas last year. That's all they could talk about. How Fanatics has just like reshaped the industry. And
Yeah,
I'll let you guess how much they loved it or not. Go ahead, Magic Man. We'll see. We'll see if they took a pretty good shot, Empire Jeff. Oh, with Anthony Edwards limping. Magic Man, where'd he go?
Must have got a call.
Where did Magic Man go? Oh, there he is.
Yeah, a friend of mine, his father apparently has left his kids a couple of rare Sandy Koufax Topps cards.
Wow. Did they get them graded?
I don't think so.
He needs to get those graded. And I understand that just like what was talked about, Empire Jeff said, like Fanatics is the Amazon of sports, and they've taken over the entire industry. Grading it, I understand that it's pretty much the same way. You have to go through basically one entity, but still, it's probably best if they get those graded.
Okay. You get a certificate along with that, right?
Yeah, you get proof. Yeah. I mean, because you mail it in, you send it in. I mean, at the one I went to, they actually, PSA actually set up a booth, and you could grade them on the spot. But most times, you're gonna have to send it in.
Okay.
You mail it in. You pay whatever fee. It comes back in a few weeks. Comes back graded, with the grade on it in the actual container, and then it has the, like you said, the. Well, the certificate of authenticity, I'm sure something comes along with it, but it's mainly because it's in the container,
right?
With the actual grade. That is the certificate of authenticity in and of itself.
I know my dad has a Shaq rookie card from Upper Deck. So
I'm sitting. I have a Barkley rookie card. I bought most of mine. Unfortunately, most of my stuff was bought during the junk box era, which sucks for me because the junk box era is pretty much trash.
Yeah.
But I do have a Barkley rookie. I think I have a Robin Yount rookie, but that's in bad condition. And then the most valuable, I think, eventually will become the ticket I have. I got to get that graded.
The Wemby Scoot Henderson.
Yeah, the Wemby Scoot Henderson. I'm sitting on it now, but I do want to grade it at some point in time.
What are you breathing so heavy for?
I was drinking
Mm-hmm.
without breathing.
Still holding that lead, though, Jeff.
Joe,
Mm.
your family isn't strong enough to give you CPR. Don't try and do that again.
Mm-hmm. It's going to take a lot more than a couple sips of a drink to get me out.
So funny because Dave McMenamin, they said, okay, you're doing the Minnesota games now. And now he's tweeting like he's never even known what his past was before him. Like all
Mhm.
it's these Minnesota tweets, Minnesota. I'm like, good God, man.
Such a chode. Lacking.
Gonna marry Malika Andrews.
Who?
Dave McMenamin. They're engaged.
Are you kidding me? Are you serious?
Yes. Yes.
That's one I did not know. Because I knew the Sham Sharania one, but I did not know the Dave McMenamin one.
Still in shock on that one. I cannot believe it. I cannot freaking believe it.
Because he looks just like a normal guy, Joe. I told you he ran into me
Looks like
literally, and he looks just like a normal guy. He's shorter than me. Yeah, just does not look like a guy that can get that kind of girl.
Mm-hmm. Got something going for him, that's for sure.
Yeah, he does. I'll give him that. Please, more engagement with the audience. You guys do a great job. Don't tell them to leave if they have different opinions than you. This should be an open forum. I want Joe to debate the chat instead of telling them to bounce.
I'd have to rewatch it, but I'm pretty sure Joe said something along the lines.
You can leave.
You can leave. You can leave. You can have the choice. You can leave. He didn't say leave. He said you can leave. That's different. That's different. But people remember what they want to remember. Man, Naz Reid is wasted in Minnesota. He really is.
Where would he be a better fit? Los Angeles?
Yeah.
He ain't going nowhere.
Well, he could. If you took him off the Timberwolves, he'd start for about 20 other teams.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
There's only a handful of teams that wouldn't have him start.
Is Friends the greatest TV show?
No.
Not in terms of its quality, I'm talking its impact.
Wouldn't MASH be number one?
Seinfeld? Yeah, MASH.
I think Friends is number one.
Well, MASH, based off of its viewers, Sean, you would say MASH, but Seinfeld over Friends?
But weren't those not it was.
I'm not big on either show. I'm going to be honest with you, but
Seinfeld was a particular show, right, Gerald? For unorthodox, awkward societal people, and it was a show for awkward people as well.
But there's also
Jerry Seinfeld's still a awkward, whining, complaining cuss.
Yes. Yes.
It's like,
I mean-
dude, people don't like. People are soft and people are cancel happy. Get over it already. Just tell them to fuck off.
Exactly. Exactly, Joe.
Stop whining about it every damn time the subject comes up. I'm not a big fan of Jerry Seinfeld in interviews, especially. And
No.
I don't like Shatner's interviews. Shatner has this condescending asshat demeanor about him all the time. That would quickly get old.
Another person who's lived in America for about 75% of his life, yet still calls himself Canadian.
I think I get tired of people lecturing me on how I should be. Not me personally, but if you don't understand that there's people out there that just don't
Give a shit.
give a shit, like you need to learn to understand that most people out there are weak and useless.
Another bad habit, Gerald. Like back tapping just to back tap. Like you're not. It used to be, when you saw Dennis Rodman, Michael Thompson, Robert Parrish, Bill Laimbeer, when they back tapped, they actually looked at where they were back tapping the ball too. Some of these guys just indiscriminately just back tap.
Yeah, just to do it.
It's like that whole situation where you're running out of bounds and you just throw the ball up. Just let it go out of bounds. Let it go out of bounds. You're risking more than you're rewarding yourself and your team in that situation. So right now Minnesota's just blowing them out.
Looks like the NBA is getting a game 7 with the eventual NBA champs between these two.
Is this the NBA Finals right here? This matchup?
Barring injury, yes.
And Ant's gotten a lot stronger. He adds about 5 more 10 pounds of muscle, be unstoppable. Yeah, there's no way you're going to convince me Kevin Durant weighs more than Michael Porter Jr. I'm sorry. Gerald, his family's dealing with a lot, eh?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I wonder what his next family dinner is gonna be like.
Oh
Looking
my
at his brothers
gosh.
going like, "Nice going, guys."
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yep, Alan, he said it. And even the kid going to the LMU.
Yeah, you got one brother who got banned for betting on games. Your
One
next
who
one is in the
went to jail.
clink.
Yeah.
He's in the clink. You got another one who got a DUI charge.
Didn't learn from the other one getting a DUI
Oh.
and going to jail for being under the influence.
Oh man.
Didn't learn.
The killing one is the one that's not good.
Yeah.
No.
That's the one where that doesn't ever get fixed.
And then the youngest didn't learn from that, so he gets a DUI. What's up, Nick?
Hey, Gerald. Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Nick.
Actually, Gerald, on that point, you remind me, Darius Morris, rest in peace. If you guys weren't aware, his dad and his brother were also indicted like a couple months ago on fraud.
Yeah, I
Oh.
read that. I was
What did the article explain the circumstances, Nick? I'm not familiar with it.
No, I think they're actually. I mean, it's still conjecture, but they're thinking it might be suicide and kind of tied to what his dad and brother are going
Oh,
through now. Yeah.
He's 33, to give you an idea. So suicide, I'm sure, is a most likely scenario.
very unsettling situation.
People, man.
Hey, Nick, thanks for stopping by earlier. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man.
No worries.
What's up, M24, Pale Fox? Great to have you here. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Cheers. Yep. Absolutely. But again, I'm not fans of those shows, but Seinfeld and Friends, I mean, to generations of people, it means something. It means a lot.
So if MASH was a show of the 70s, Gerald, what was the show of the 80s?
That is a good question.
Was it
wasn't
Cheers?
Cheers, I would probably
Cheers.
think of, but remember, Cheers started off slow. It started off
Yes.
almost near cancellation before it really found its peak.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was almost canceled.
Seinfeld was like that too.
Yeah. And then Seinfeld took over after Cheers started to go away, and the Kirstie Alley years, at the end of the Kirstie Alley years. And then I'd say Friends took over that. Cheers is the only one I actually enjoyed watching of those. MASH, of course, but yeah, MASH is different. MASH I never treat as a comedy.
Yeah, no.
They conveniently put in laugh tracks on episodes, and sometimes they didn't. So I didn't know. It was always me a drama when I watched it.
Incredible comeback by the New York Rangers, down 3-0. Now they're up 4-3.
Choke. Cosby.
Yeah,
I mean, Cosby. He dominated the ratings, Alan. You're right.
Yeah. Cosby in the 90s. Yep.
And then Cheers, and then Friends took over. I'm checking it out now. Yeah, that's. Man, I hope. Man, Darius Moore. Man, why? If he took his life over this, man.
Yeah, it's really, really, really sucks.
Thank you, Nick, for bringing us the article.
So what does it say? Does it explicitly say what they did, Gerald?
Yeah. According to the indictment, Morris Sr., then a supervisor for post office in Venice, Playa del Rey, and Marina del Rey, ordered and received 10,000 blank postal money order forms. A subsequent audit revealed that approximately 5,100 of those 10,000 money order forms were missing. With a maximum value of $1,000 per money order, the potential value of the missing money order forms is $5.1 million.
Man.
Sean, they're facing up to 30 years in prison.
And that's federal charges, right, Nick?
Yeah, federal.
Oh man, they're like, don't they have something like a 98% conviction rate?
Yeah, the feds aren't bringing charges unless they're pretty sure they can get convictions.
Oh, that's brutal.
I guess the good thing is that, I mean, it's kind of morbid to say, but like federal prison is much better than state prison.
Yes, I've read that. Yes. And apparently, isn't California State Prison one of the worst in the country?
Yeah, I mean, like I think
It's
everywhere
it,
it's pretty
but
overcrowded.
but it's pretty overcrowded, and like the gangs run. Like I know that like way back in the in the early '90s, Nick. I'm not sure if you heard this story, but when Tupac was in Rikers Island, uh, a corrections officer walked up to him and said, "We're." He called he obviously used the word, and then he said, "We're the biggest gang in here." Now it's like the gangs, like the bikers, the Bloods, the Aryan Brotherhood. They run California's prisons, not the corrections officers anymore.
And on that note,
Well, Gerald, do you know something when you watch?
never thought our conversations would go to the California penal systems, Magic Man.
You never know when you come on Lakers Fast Break what we're going to talk about. That's the whole point.
We started out with basketball, we went into food heavy movies, television shows, and then we went into the California penal system.
The infamous Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, Gerald.
Exactly. There you go.
Gerald, honestly, after watching American History X, that kind of opened my eyes to the California penal system.
Oh, I get it. Badass Peckerwood with an attitude.
It was actually, that's what actually prison was like. Is like, didn't sugarcoat anything.
But let me tell you something, man. You better watch your ass. You know
that's a great movie about what it means to be a brother with a younger brother. It was FL24. It really was. Tony Kaye is a really great director.
It's interesting how the writer, the original screenwriter of the movie, hated the movie because he interpreted as they glorified the skinhead.
Yeah, they didn't know.
And I'm sitting there going, they glorified it? Okay. He went to jail. He turned on everybody in that life, and he still lost. He lost his dad. Well, he lost his brother.
He lost his dad, his brother, and his mother. His mother became a chronic smoker.
Mm-hmm.
Was probably going to lose her too, Joe.
Yeah. So, but let's call it glorified. This is what bothers me about people's inability to understand
what's in front of their face.
Yeah, they said the same thing about The Godfather, the first one. They glorified that life. And then in the second movie, they did what they did. And you saw how everything went after that. What are you going to do?
It's a little different in Canada. FL24, the indigenous community really runs the jails.
Sean, they call them First Nations out there, right?
Yes, that's another word for it, Nick. Yep. But there are different tribes, Nick. Like there are different tribes here. Like there are different tribes out in California. You guys have Mohawks. We have the Mohawks. You guys have Navajos. We have Navajos.
You have the Algonquins, right?
Yep. Ojibwe, Lakota.
which in Algonquin means the good land.
Do you know any Native Americans, Joseph?
No.
Okay. Educated about it. They obviously don't have an educational seminar up at Morongos.
Or Pachanga. I can delve into the casino reservation
Mm-hmm.
culture, but then
Mm-hmm.
Gerald will probably shit a concrete brick.
Might be a skyscraper.
You know, the funny thing about all that discussion is I'm not pulling it out of my ass. It actually is happening. So if you apparently tell people what's happening, you're still in the wrong in some cases in certain things. That's why it's best to say it to people's faces. That way they know that you're not just saying it. Because then you can get a return on it. Well, more often than not, I don't get a return. I get more defense. You can always tell when someone's wrong because they get very defensive.
Well, the David Chase did a great job of kind of explaining the hypocrisy and the corruption surrounding that business.
He did that for everything.
Mm-hmm.
I
But
read that. It's one of his
but
best qualities.
but specifically for Indian casinos, because that's basically how it's run.
God, that was. I know that. I don't know why Columbus, the Columbus Day episode wasn't. I can't figure out how that was a bad episode. That
It's
had me
considered the second worst or worst of the whole
I had that
series.
that was one of the funniest episodes ever from the
Well,
beginning.
you know something, Joe. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that it was written by Michael Imperioli, and people just don't want to give that guy his justice when it comes to creative license.
You know what it is, Alan? Denzel Washington said it. He goes, if you're not listening or watching, you're not informed. If you do watch, you're misinformed. So what helps in understanding what's going on is being a pillar in the community. And usually the first step of being a pillar in the community is being involved in small business practices in the community, because that's the lifeline of the community. Typically the stores, especially the small business stores, you get more of a connection of what's going on there. If you go too corporate, you kind of miss the localized part of that. So if it's like a Home Depot or a Lowe's, you're really being taught by a major corporation. Their small business or community culture is not really there. It's too big of a business to be ingrained in that. But when you're a small business, you touch more of the actual people in your community, and you start finding out little things as you conduct business. You find out what kind of people are around. You find out what local laws say, what permits, what occupancy things are. Like it's so many little things that you end up you get thrust into it. It's not stuff that you usually are aware of until it's brought to you. So I'll give you an example. I had to have I filed for a business permit because I established a business address. If I had kept my PO box as my business, my warehouse would have never been flagged as a place I needed a permit where I had to display the permit and an occupancy permit as well. When I was talking to the guy, I said, this is not a place of business. This is just an address for my business where I store supplies. No one operates out of here. It's a storage unit with an office. Apparently, it registers as a business, physical building and all that BS. So going through all this, I'm like, all right, fine. I got to get a business permit. Okay, I probably should get one anyways. And then what it turned into was I had to pay $300 to the local water district for a sewage clearance on a building I don't own. And I asked the guy, I said, and this is a guy that kept hounding me, kept showing up. I knew he was showing up because I have cameras that can see directly to the door, and it's triggered when there's movement close to the door. They don't even need to try to open the door. It just triggers from motion. So I know he's coming there, regularly, and you could tell he's one of those guys that has a shitty job that this is what he does, just try to go find money. And I asked him straight up on the phone, I go, can you explain something to me? After I had told him, look, I'm not there sometimes 2-3 weeks at a time. I'm never there. This is not a place of business. It's a storage unit for my supplies. And he kept having to, telling me, well, that's, it doesn't matter now, blah, blah, blah. I said, can you explain something to me? Why am I paying $300 to get a sewer clearance on a building I don't own? And it was quiet, just like you heard right now. And then he said, I don't know. Straight up, just was honest. And I just said, yep, that's what I thought.
Joe, your story kind of reminds me. When I was in high school, I had a teacher who bought a fairly small plot of land, and he was trying to build a small home there. And he said that over the course of a year, he spent over $100,000 just on building permits. And he ended his story by saying, I spent over $100,000 and I haven't even put a shovel in the dirt.
So, and that's the story, especially here in California.
In Ontario.
It's California is run. If California could turn themselves into Canada completely, they would. Not for a lack of trying, believe me. And it's just you want to be strict on issues of health. I'll at least buy that one, even though some of this stuff is a little overextended. But small business having to pay this, having to pay that, go back and forth to this, like what the hell? Who makes this stuff up? Other than thieves.
Yeah.
And now I gotta figure out ways, because that's the kind of guy I am. Now I gotta figure out ways on how I'm going to justify losing that money.
Speaking of going back to what Joe was saying originally, and this is Joe and Gerald probably know the answer to this question. Nick, you might, but I'm going to leave it for people in the audience here. Does anyone know how Denzel Washington got his Lakers season tickets? Nobody on our panel answer yet.
Weren't they bequeathed to him?
Yes, but I want people to see if they know.
Oh, I don't know.
You don't?
No.
Okay, all right. So they were originally Walter Matthau's. And Walter Matthau bequeathed them to Denzel Washington.
I do remember seeing that somewhere, yes.
Do you know where Walter Matthau sat?
No.
He sat beside Diane Cannon.
Oh.
And I didn't see her at a lot of games this year, I gotta say. She's probably as disappointed in their lack of direction as we are. she's a huge supporter.
You
Probably,
knew
probably bigger than it's kind of a bold statement, but kind of bigger than Jack.
Well, Jack no longer attends the games. The last one he attended was the Memphis game.
That's right. Yep. Yep.
Jack's
son-
not doing too well
No.
cognitively.
Yeah.
He's 85 years old, so
86-year-old.
86,
yeah, just had a birthday.
his son attends the games now. I see his son attending, sitting in his chair.
Well, I've seen Lorraine at the games too. What's his son's name?
I don't know. It just looks like a younger version of him. I always know what he looks like. Plus, he's always wearing Lakers gear.
It's Ray. It's Ray.
Okay.
But I've seen Lorraine at the games. She looks just like him. I believe that's, if I'm not mistaken, Gerald. Did he have any kids with Angelica Houston?
I'll look it up right now. I thought he did, but I mean,
Yeah, I thought he did too. He didn't with Laura Flynn Boyle, but I think him and Houston had a son or a daughter.
he was with 1973 to 1990.
By the way, could you picture anybody else playing Morticia Adams?
No.
No way. No way. That was a perfect role for her.
I am sad that Raul Julia didn't.
All right,
live
a sad
He
story.
didn't live long enough to. He was at the cusp of
Greatness, yeah, Joe.
greatness. He was supposed to be Bucho in Desperado.
Ah,
While I love Javier in that movie, my God, that scene when they open with him with the camera to the back of his head, I kept imagining if it was Raul Julia and the surprise it would be to just see him. And the thing is, somebody mentioned how he did kind of look like Antonio Banderas a little bit, obviously before he got sick. And I go, man, I never even noticed that. And it would have been the perfect villain role. He would have killed that role.
yeah, he would have.
Because of his experiences, I'll say, for lack of a better term, it's hard to on Wikipedia trace if he did have one with Angelica. Let me look at.
I see. Yeah, so many.
Yeah, 6 kids, 5 different women.
Yeah, he conquered a lot.
That he did.
Sean conquered a lot like J-Lo. I just saw your comments right now.
Well, he conquered a lot while he was with Angelica, and Angelica finally got tired.
Okay.
After the pregnancy of whatever chick he was with.
Okay. All right. That sounds like Jack.
Yeah, she didn't have a child.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
That's surprising. Because her dad was amazing director.
Yeah, oh, yes.
Asphalt Jungle, man, that's a great film. John Huston. I've heard that too, Alan. That's why he was able to conquer. FL24 in her prime. Ooh. She probably in the top 1% of the 1% of pieces of ass. Yes.
Who?
J-Lo.
Oh.
Late 90s. 95 to
I like her better now.
02. Some women age like a fine wine, Joe. I still think Halle Berry's fine at almost 60.
Halle Berry is actually hotter now than she was even in the 90s to me.
Some women are like that. They just get sexier by.
Yeah, Sean. Like the only thing is, like, so many divorces and engagements and partners, right? On
Oh
behalf
yeah,
of J-Lo.
She collects. I said it. She collects more rings than Thanos.
Man, I think to myself, right? Like, she must be a very difficult person, right?
Yes, yes,
Like, she must have a side to her that we just do not know about.
yeah. That yes, yes. Do you know how she got her break in the industry, Nick?
Was it through that Selena movie or
No,
no?
no, no, no. So, do you remember In Living Color?
I do remember the show. I didn't
She was one of
follow
the Fly
closely.
Girls,
She was one of Fly Girls. Keenan Ivory Reigns discovered her.
along with Paula Abdul.
Paul Abdul as well. Yep.
Who? Paul Abdul.
Paula Abdul.
What about her?
Yes. Laker Girl and Fly Girl.
Fly Girl. She was the only
Paul Abdul is
Laker
a
girl.
fly girl?
Yeah, she was. You
When?
didn't know that?
No.
This has got to be late. This has got to be when it first started. I think. Like we're talking.
But I think she also train them as well. She was the.
No, that was Rosie Perez.
Oh, okay.
I think you guys are mixing Rosie Perez and Paul Abdul.
Hold on, I'll look it up.
Man of Glass now stays healthy all year.
Talking late 80s, Joe. I think I believe In Living Color started at 88, 89.
I think it was 1990 when they started.
I seem to recall it 89. I don't know why.
Not a fan of Rosie Perez in terms of the aesthetic or the voice.
Hot body.
Yeah, it was Rosie Perez. You're right.
Rosie has
Yeah,
something
it was
that
not
always.
Paula.
Rosie has an issue that always just makes me gag, which is too much gum next to teeth.
Oh, like Gina Davis?
Gina Davis is not. She just has a big mouth.
But there's a big gum to teeth
I
irrational
think
ratio
she's
there.
cool. I was never into Gina Davis.
I did not. I didn't suggest that you were. I'm just saying.
Well,
like,
that's what I'm saying. That probably plays a factor, and even though I don't really see her as drastic.
Hey, look, she was hot. Rosie Perez was hot and Do the Right Thing and White Man Can't Jump.
I don't know. Not from.
Got a question from M24 on YouTube.
It's okay, yeah, Alan. Like, this is okay. I hate saying that in public about somebody like that, but I don't even know her. But yeah,
Well, what do you give a shit for? You said worse things in public than that.
yeah, but those people deserve it. Rosie Perez doesn't deserve to be talked to like that, you know.
Oh, I see. So now we're differentiating.
Yeah,
insults.
people who are jerk offs deserve to be called out as jerk offs. She didn't do anything to.
Who said she did?
I'm just saying it. That's how it's going to come off.
Well,
on that-
you're yeah. Well, I mean, you're judging somebody on the way they look, Joe.
Yeah, which is pretty much 90% of the time. Ooh, nice.
So what the fuck are you really saying?
Don't worry about it.
No, no. See, this is what happens in a conversation. Somebody says something, and then they say, "Don't worry about it." When
Yeah.
someone says, "Don't worry about it," that means there's something underneath. What lies beneath? What lies beneath that, Joe?
Just
There's
said
something
it.
there. No. There's something else going on here. Alan says, "Don't worry about it." As Joe rage quitting the conversation. And Ant just put an exclamation point on the blowout.
It's like, damn, I got to go to Denver. Back to Denver now.
Let me ask you this, guys. For M24 and Nick, please get on this if you can, if you're still with us. If you guys could resurrect the perfect role player from history in their prime for Lakers, who would it be?
For
Robert
this
Horry.
team?
Yeah, for this team. I'd say Robert Horry.
Michael Cooper.
Ooh.
He's a legit 3-and-D that they would need.
Alan says Fisher. Nick?
Fisher couldn't guard anybody towards the end, even though he was clutch.
No, in his prime, though.
Nick
Even-
Van Ack.
Even in his prime, he couldn't guard anybody.
Nick the Quick.
Just ask
Mike Beebe. Yeah, I know. Mike Beebe.
Troy Hudson and Mike Beebe. He got those guys contracts for a lifetime. When he jacked up his ankle to an 01, that was when his defense just took a dive. No, guys, come on. Role player, Michael Cooper, man. Come on.
I was saying Horry.
Michael Cooper was a defensive player of the year and who hit threes in the 80s. Imagine if you had that. Imagine if you had the green light and how much his defense would help this team now. Michael Cooper might be the greatest role player the Lakers organization has ever had. I can't say fully 100% because I didn't get a chance to watch the Minneapolis Lakers teams.
Nick, you there?
He's probably doing some legal work.
Hey, look, I'm on TV. Hey.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question, Joe. You have
No.
you have to choose Claudia Cardinale or Sophia Loren.
In their primes?
Yeah. You have to pick.
Probably.
Because, like, of all the beautiful women who are older right now, Salma Hayek is number one.
Sean, what's the question? Sorry, I missed it.
Oh, in their primes, Laker Nick, who is the best role player that you think would be a fit for this year's team? If you could take one role player through history, in Lakers history, Laker Nick, in their prime, who would it be?
That wasn't a Lakers player?
No, that was a Lakers player. Like,
Yeah.
I said Horry, Joe said Michael Cooper, Alan said Fisher. If you could take a role player through time in the Lakers and transform them on this team.
Claudia.
Yes. Right answer.
Wait,
Okay, here's
Joe. Who did Joe say? Sorry,
Cooper.
Cooper. Okay. I mean, I have recency bias. I think I'm not saying he's probably the one, but at least deserves to be mentioned because I think he was key in the playoffs as a Meta World Peace.
Mm.
Obviously in his prime, he was a fantastic defender. He was like incredibly strong. And so, he was effective in the playoffs, helped Lakers win a chip. So,
Hey, Nick.
yeah.
You can only pick one, okay? This is a game. You can only pick one. Okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Jessica Alba or Eva Mendes?
Alba.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Eva Mendes is beautiful, guys.
Are you
is.
talking about Prime? I
Alba's,
don't know.
Alba's
It's close to
Prime.
being
Oh,
my
she's
thing.
like a perfect 10. Like,
No,
come on.
Alba's untouchable. Honestly, she might be the number one in all, and no matter who.
Any era, yeah.
She looks like a better looking version of Vanessa, that's how hot she is.
Pale Fox
Yeah.
has Lamar Odom, by the way.
Yeah, that's a good answer. And just Pale Fox saying that, and other Laker fans saying that, we won the Shaq trade in the end. 2 titles to 1.
Man, Alan, these are hard. Why are you making these questions so hard?
Okay. So overall Alba, but it's like by this, Alan.
I would have loved to have seen Jennifer Love Hewitt's rack in the flesh.
It's like this, Joe. All right, that's enough.
That would be something, because she might have her there in that area. Everything else,
Of course she does. What are you talking about? It's not even debatable. Oh, Selma Hayek.
I would say Selma.
Selma and Desperado is earth-shattering.
Quentin Tarantino literally sucked on her toes because he didn't want anybody else to do it.
Who did he write that? He wrote that for George Clooney, but apparently
He did
didn't
it.
want to do it.
Oh, of course not. Would you?
Yes. Her, yes.
Yes.
I just wouldn't have picked tequila.
I
I would have picked rum.
Like a liqueur? Okay, a rum. All right. Yeah.
But then it's it was in Mexico, so I guess it made sense.
Yeah, that's true, Alan. That's true. I would die a happy man.
Which one's the one that?
Neither JSJ, neither.
Is it Kendall or Kendall? Right, the gorgeous model one.
They're all K's, Joe. They're all K's. Pick one. Candy, Chloe,
Kendall
Courtney.
is the one that. Kendall's
Candy,
the one.
Chloe, Courtney, Kendall.
Kendall
Kelly,
is gorgeous. Yeah.
Kelly.
And Kim Kardashian was an absolute earth-shattering hot before she destroyed her face with plastic surgery.
Oh, and her ass.
Dwight Howard, by the way, Pale wanted to put that in there.
Dwight Howard? I thought he said Lamar Odom.
Yeah, he said Lamar first, but then he said Dwight Howard he thinks also gets some votes as a role player.
For one season?
It was really one series where he was really good, and that was the Denver series in the bubble.
Yeah.
He didn't really play in the finals.
Or against Houston.
Yeah, in his prime, he was only with the Lakers a year, right?
2.
Or was it 2?
Yeah.
1 year in his prime, one year as a role player.
Austin Reeves. Gerald, you can only pick one: fish taco or burrito.
Burrito.
Nick?
Yeah, burrito, but I'll have to put a caveat in that if I taste one of Joe's recommended tacos from that place, it might change my
TJ
opinion.
Oysters.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you have that, if you have the smoked tuna fish taco from TJ Oyster, you'll never pick a burrito. You can actually put it in a burrito too, so technically it'll work
Well,
there too.
well, that's okay. That's cool.
Yeah,
I was just asking, like, so you obviously you would choose a fish taco.
that's it. You can make a fish taco in a burrito.
No. You don't get to
What
change
do you
that,
mean? You
fucker.
no? How about I no all over the place right now?
Look, fucker, answer the question as it stated.
A 194 hitter just hit a home run.
Don't change the subject either. Fish taco or burrito?
Fish taco.
Okay. Yeah, JSJ. Well, I mean, it's a woman's choice. It's a woman's choice. I prefer natural myself.
I prefer what looks good.
Michael Thompson.
Well, who do you think looks good with silicone, Joe?
Demi Moore and striptease.
Okay.
Who else?
By the way, Pale Fox put in Michael Thompson.
Ah, good answer. What would you, Joe? Would you say Megan Fox?
Oh yeah, I love her.
Yeah, there's a lot of plastic in that body.
So
Somehow it works.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just the way he said it.
Look how proud Gerald is of himself.
JSJ, she did look better before she got plastic surgery. Ooh, Minnesota extends the lead to 26. This game's over.
I would rest Edwards as soon as I could.
Yeah, I wouldn't play him in the fourth.
What is with you and resting? It's the freaking playoffs.
He just slammed his back on the
22 years old.
concrete, Joe.
So what?
Joe, would you put Carmen Electra in that category?
She was really what made Carmen really, not only because she's physically and gorgeous, but I just always got a good vibe from her too. She just seemed like a cool person.
Yes, I agree.
I love Jenny McCarthy too. I'm a big fan of Jenny McCarthy's. I like Pamela Anderson as well. She seemed nice as well. Heather Locklear. Just unfortunate she went south mentally a little bit. Anna Nicole Smith, yeah, there was a lot of physical things there, but her ditziness kind of was not good.
5-tier difference between them.
Britney Spears completely lost it, Joe.
Yeah, it's sad too because she used to be kind of bubbly too, but those family members and people around her that are gutter trash didn't help. But Britney Spears wasn't. I mean, she's not bad looking, but there's a lot of girls out there that look like Britney Spears. You give them $100 million and they can turn them into.
I was never into Britney Spears. She was the it girl when I was in high school.
I just hope she didn't have to do some of the Disney stuff that's gone on, which usually that's.
Let's not go there.
Xbox is asking you guys a question.
I'll go wherever I want, Sean.
Inner Prime, yes. Inner Prime Xbox, yes. Before she had plastic surgery.
But he said, "Do you know Sophie Monk?"
Yeah, I know Sophie Monk.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm a fan of Jessica Chastain.
Mm-hmm. Mentioned that before.
Xbox, too funny.
I'm a fan of all flavors that taste good.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
The brain discriminates, Joe. The dick does not.
My brain knows exactly what it's doing.
The brain does discriminate. The dick does not.
That's not necessarily true.
The
That's the
brain
key, Xbox.
discriminates. The dick does not.
I'm gonna say it again. This time, maybe you'll turn up your hearing aid so you don't miss it.
I don't have to wear a hearing aid, sir.
What my brain likes, my plumbing will like.
Oh, you're plumbing. You're calling it plumbing. Is that what you're? Yeah, plumbing.
I meant plummeting. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because
Murray is the key for them.
You think? I think Brown is the key.
Shut up.
I don't need to talk to a Tiffany, guys, when I'm really talking to a Raul or an Oscar.
Who?
That Alan didn't. Haven't you read that article? Here, I'll post it. I'm gonna post it right now, Alan.
Dental recommendations, because I mentioned it on last night's show when Xbox was there. Electric over manual. Water flossing's good. Regular flossing is better. And mouthwashes are come and go. Nothing really preferred on that sense because my son was not a big fan. My son's not a big fan of mouthwashes. He's a big fan of flossing.
Good Rex, Gerald. Good Rex. Flossing is the key.
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, apparently it's a cottage industry for married people. So Gerald and Joe are more likely to be on OnlyFans than me
Mhm.
and Nick.
Right.
Like as a consumer or creator, Sean?
More as a consumer, but I'm sure there's a swinging network on there, Nick. You know how perverse it is.
Well, I said Joe has the future.
Although, some Nick. I seem to remember. Didn't the Supreme Court rule on pornography?
Yeah, it's legal. Yeah.
Yeah. They spend hours watching it.
Actually, you remind me. A friend of mine was talking to me yesterday. I haven't seen it, but Gerald, you might be aware about this whole. I just learned about it. The Ashley Madison scandal. And it's a Netflix special about this.
That
Actually,
Ashley Madison stuff that went down a few years ago.
yeah, and Sean, you might be aware because it's Canadian or based in Canada. This agency, it's like an online dating service, but its entire premise caters to people who are married,
Yep.
who are
Yeah,
looking, yeah, who are looking for affairs. And the slogan of this or the model is quote, "Life is short, have an affair." And so, as
Yep.
as
it's come
Gerald,
up on a few scandals that
yeah,
I've seen. Yeah,
and I haven't seen the documentary, but apparently there was a data breach and a lot of people, some people even like took their own lives because these hackers were threatening to disclose their identities to the public. And
that I didn't know.
obviously they would have, disclosed that they were cheating on their like wives and husbands.
Right.
Good. Fuck them. Scumbags.
Well, I'm sure you heard about the litigation with the porn company MindGeek. Nick, they're out of Canada too.
Yeah. I'm aware. I've actually really done some work relating to that actually.
Oh wow. Gerald, what are these green stars signify beside their names?
Participation points?
Oh,
I did
creators.
not.
We're creators.
Okay. All right.
Alan is a moderator.
You would know better than me, Xbox. You're in Australia, mate. You would know better than me.
Yeah, because remember when we tried to get Alan up on the stage,
Mm-hmm.
and you tried to see if we get him to be able to see what we're seeing, and that didn't quite work out.
Yep.
Yeah, same with Xbox.
Oh, it says here Alan's a creator then.
Yeah, I just changed him to great. He was a moderator. I listed him as a
Okay.
moderator before. I was trying to see what they do. These VIPs that come, people come in asking for us to VIP. You guys do VIP. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how they do that.
Xbox, I haven't tried it, but I heard crocodile meat is very tasty. I heard it's very good.
Well, if Joe had a Cameo or an OnlyFans or Patreon or one of those where he just does rants on demand, he'd have a nice little tidy side business.
Why would somebody pay when they can get it for free here?
Like I said, Xbox, I tried Burundi about almost 2 weeks ago. That is a tasty dish. Well, Alan, why are you asking me? Like, I don't speak for all white people.
Yeah, you do.
I do
Maybe.
not. I do not. I do not. I do not.
No, Alan, it's not. White people eat stuff that's bland, not weird stuff. Minorities eat weird stuff like pig's feet and snout.
Joe, are you familiar with the? You're familiar with the slavery that went on in the United States?
Yeah.
Okay, so black people only ate parts of the pig that the slave
Do you really want to go
owners.
down this road?
Alan, Gerald, this is history.
Here comes
Okay.
Gerald's.
It's history.
No.
We're not talking about anything else other than that's history, Gerald. The slave owners ate the pig, and they gave the parts of the pig that they wouldn't eat to black people, and that's part of the cuisine of soul food. That's where soul food comes from. I didn't make this up, Gerald. I read it.
Okay.
It's history. It's history, Gerald.
Okay.
There's no attachment to it other than it's history. Like, Gerald, is history good or bad?
Most of it is not good.
Well, it's still history.
Yes. What is a weird food combo I enjoy? Good question.
I don't have one. My brother likes potato. My cousin likes potatoes and mayonnaise. Together, JS? Like, you'll have them together.
Well, Sean, people in Europe have fries with mayonnaise instead of ketchup, so I guess it's not that
Yes.
weird.
Yes. Well, Euro trash and all, Nick.
I guess if you think about it, eggs and ketchup is a little weird, right?
Why?
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
We just
Not
lost
weird,
our
but
signal.
dumb.
There we go.
What's going on here?
I got it back. So
Okay.
it was just all of a sudden I'm just looking at myself in the big window.
Nick, why do you think eggs and ketchup are a strange combination?
A lot of people do that, Nick.
Well, you're having, to put it very graphically, Sean, you're having sugar with an embryo.
Okay. But tastes good.
Yeah, no. I remember having it as a kid, but I guess it's a little weird.
You've seen Pulp Fiction, right, Nick?
Yeah.
So when Vincent's trying to explain to Jules how pork tastes good, Jules doesn't care.
Hmm.
So it's that old Homer Simpson line, right? Just because I don't care doesn't mean I don't understand. Yeah, pork may taste great to some people, but
Hmm.
other people don't like. Could you imagine a world without bacon, Nick?
That'd be tough.
It would be tough. A world without bacon, Gerald.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sean.
Well, hey, I'm a big bacon fan myself. Could
Well,
eat a whole damn plate for
I was at
breakfast, lunch,
Jersey
and
Mike's
dinner.
the other day, and I was looking. I'm like, I'm not going to get the bacon ranch today. I'm just going to get something else. And I'm looking at the entire slot full of bacon right next to the register.
Oh my god!
The way Jersey Mike's has it set up, they've got the display for all the veggies right there, but to the side, that's closest to you as a consumer to where you pay, is the bacon already cooked right there.
Yeah.
Ugh, they've got that planned. They're terrible.
So that article that I just linked, Sean and Gerald, I'm not sure if you could see it, but basically Michael Porter Jr. was a vegetarian up until he tried bacon, and he just said it's just so good.
And Nick, it was probably crispy bacon that he had.
Well, I was
had
just
to
reading
guess.
articles that said, the best way to long life to avoid cancer, heart attack, stroke, vegetarian and Mediterranean meals. And it's just like, I can't do it. I just can't do it. I love bacon. I can't do it. I know I'm cutting years off my life, but man,
Alan, I think
bacon's
it
so
was,
good.
if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Denver and New Orleans. I think New Orleans scored like 63 points.
I've had enough meat today, guys. So after the tri-tip
think it
today,
was-
I'm done. I'm done.
I think it was like the differential was like over 42. It was 42 or 43 in that game.
Is Joe doing a nightcap?
FL 24.
I'm
used to
done for
have-
the evening personally, but if you guys doing a nightcap, let me know.
Are you doing one, Joe?
I don't know yet.
What do
He
you mean
does
you
not
don't?
know yet.
I just
All right.
told you. You want me to?
Yeah.
You want me to say it in French?
No, I said, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? What?
No, that's the question. What? What do you
What?
mean?
What?
No, that's the question. What do you mean?
Where?
No, it's what?
Hi.
San Diego State University, ladies and gentlemen.
He's serious.
More impressed by the day with the graduates from that fine educational institution, Gerald.
You only know
It is known as one of the premier schools in the nation, Sean, for partying. For parties, for a reason.
yes, I'm well aware of that.
They say that about every warm weather university.
No, it's it. No, come
I
on,
don't hear,
Joe.
Joe. I don't hear.
Is a party school.
I don't hear that about Fresno State, Joe.
SDSU is. This goes back to my time, Joe, when I was looking for colleges. SDSU is the party school of the West Coast. It's not even funny.
Gerald, isn't the old joke you go to Arizona for an education in Arizona State to get your brain ripped?
Oh my gosh, I have heard that, but don't tell that to Alfred. Our Orlando Magic responded.
Oh, he's going there for graduate school.
Yeah, I gave him a letter of recommendation. He got approved for several schools, but he decided to go ahead with Arizona State. I think in sports journalism. I think.
Gerald, who's this?
Alfred Esmond. He comes on every now. Yeah, he has been. He was going to Tennessee, I think, but he's now going. He just got approved to go to Arizona State. So I was telling him, dude, you applied to Arizona State? Yeah. I'm like, I remember back in 2014 when I applied, I just asked for more information.
It-
They didn't let. They never. 3 years later, they were still trying to get me every single day, an email or a call, email or a call. Oh, so annoying.
I wouldn't be surprised if Joe's in one of those videos that fell.
Joe's giving beads to one of the girls in the video.
Yeah, or something else, but that wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, it would.
No.
This game is
wouldn't.
over.
You know what, Gerald? This honestly, this reminds me a lot of the 2009 semi-finals between the Lakers and the Rockets, where the Rockets just murdered us in Game 6.
Kurt Affair, yeah, he is a really good dude. I'm really rooting for him. I was very honored
That
that
game
he
four.
asked me for a letter of recommendation. So I was really happy to go ahead and do that for him. Mission 24 says Magic Man strikes me as a brisket man.
I've never actually had brisket before.
What?
Yeah, I've never had brisket.
See, this is a stunned silence.
I'm capable of it once in a while.
Wow. The carnivore that you are, and you've never had brisket.
Nope, never had that one. Not out of a personal choice either. It's just I've never had it. Never been in front of me. Never been on a menu that I saw.
Wow. Learn something new every day. Poutine, like I said, Pale Fox. Oh, okay.
FL's got it straight. Meat and potatoes, pork and beans. That's me.
All right. Well, if you get a chance, try some brisket.
I will, man. I will. What's the best place to grab a brisket in LA, Joe?
In LA? See,
Yeah.
I've been there, I've been going regularly.
I know. I
since 95.
ask you, but it's only because you spent most of your life there. So how about Vegas? Where's the best place to grab a brisket? The
Oh
Wynn
my gosh,
Hotel?
Frankie D's, where I just told you
Frankie
right
D's?
now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Tri-tip, brisket, yeah. But ribs are pretty good, but it is the tri-tip you're going there for, and the brisket. Yeah, just the best.
Where have you had a good brisket in LA, Nick?
Oh man, LA is tough. I do remember having it in New York. I don't remember the name of the restaurant.
Okay, so sorry, Nick. Go ahead. I'll just add something after.
No, I was just gonna say that, Gerald, I'm probably more partial to tri-tip than brisket, actually.
Yeah. Okay. If you were here, I mean, if I could take you to Frankie D's, that
Yes.
best tri-tip you'll ever have, Nick.
So instead of actual restaurants, then, since Nick, Gerald, you guys know LA pretty well, what parts of LA have the best food? What regions of LA? Instead of actual physical restaurants, what physical regions have the best food in LA?
Well, it's where the more affluent go to. I mean, I've eaten in Beverly Hills before, downtown Westwood. I mean, you go along the
So
beach areas.
where's the best Mexican food in LA, Gerald?
It's LA. You'd probably go inner city.
Okay, like where?
Well, right downtown.
Okay,
Downtown has a ton of spots right around downtown, but I would rather go for the best Mexican food is closer where Joe's at. The closer you get to San Diego,
yeah.
the better Mexican food there is.
Do you agree, Nick?
No, yeah, I mean, you could always get like good Mexican food off of like the classic street places. Actually, Sean, I'm gonna link this here because I've gone to this restaurant in LA. It's pretty interesting. Well, they're actually blocking my message, but
Yeah, Texas brisket is the best. I think I get you,
yeah.
Bloodhound. I've had Texas brisket. Yes, I agree with you.
They're closed right now, but basically it's oh man, they actually shut this place down.
Bloodhound says Cerritos for Indian food.
Cerritos. Okay. Cerritos.
Sorry, Alan. I know you're on a diet.
Sean, they closed the restaurant that I was recommending to you, but it was a very interesting restaurant. It's worth reading about.
Okay.
They actually specialized in kind of the weird cuts that you were mentioning. You know, like the intestines, bone marrow, brain.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The restaurant was actually called Animal.
We're forcing Alan to eat.
Your decision, Alan. Live with your decision.
About time they took their players out. Lucha Libre in San Diego. See, Bloodhound's just like me. Sean, backing me up. Thank you, Bloodhound. Lucha Libre is incredible. Absolutely best burritos.
All right. Is you got something philosophically against fish tacos, or just preference for burritos?
It's a preference. I've actually had some pretty good fish tacos when I was in San Diego in that area a couple months ago. So.
Eat some tasty and healthy, Alan. You can combine the two.
If I was asking if you've ate cow's brains, I have actually.
I haven't.
I have not.
So Gerald, okay. So sriracha or hot sauce?
Sriracha.
Sriracha. It's the right answer.
Has flavor.
Yeah, a little goes a long way. Too much, and you could just.
I still remember when I was working in the special effects industry, the first job I had when we had an editor and he had his bay, and I'm showing this on camera here. He had this film editing bay where he worked on, and along the top, right past where he does the film editing, was a line of mail order spices from all around the world. The hottest one. He was a hot sauce
guru,
just fanatic.
Okay.
You know, I know the guy you saw. What's the guy's name? Sean, whatever his name is on, that eats.
Yep.
The celebrity wings. Yeah. Just like that. He's just fanatic on this stuff. And yeah, he would he'd get us to try it all the time. And, how do you like this one, guys? I got this one imported from Jamaica. And it's like, it's like XXX or my mouth is on fire. They've had all these weird names, like, or like a fireman running with the end, running away from the house on fire. It's, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I would be calling 911 for emergency gastrointestinal surgery if I could.
You got to try this, man. Oh man, you got to try this. It's the best. And like.
Now, Gerald, did you guys actually share a kitchen?
We did have a kitchen area for where all the animators, editors, and programmers and us could go. But more than we would more often go out. Like we would walk down to Hammer Place on Melrose, famous hamburger place Melrose. We'd always go in there, and the editor, would always go. Like they have this big plastic jar full of jalapeno peppers. And he would take all of them and eat them like candy.
Amazing. Minnesota's up by 44 right now.
Let's bottle that up and save it for...
Eat a jar of what?
Jalapeno peppers.
A whole jar.
Some places, Joe, where you go to and they have like the big jar of jalapeno peppers if you want to grab some. Use as a garnish, whatever. People side. He would take the whole thing and just help himself to like the entire thing. Pop them like candy.
Minnesota now up by 47. If just some quick advice out there to everybody. If you're ever have to share a kitchen with another business for whatever reason, never give up a cabinet. Because once you give up the cabinet, you've given up the higher ground in the kitchen, and you'll never get that cabinet back. Never give up a cabinet. Give up a drawer, not a cabinet. Never give up a cabinet.
So are you guys going live tonight?
So, Joe?
I don't know. We'll see.
Pepper X is the worst, Pale Fox. Pepper X is the worst. Once Pepper X becomes readily available, that's going to be the worst. I heard someone, another high school kid, took another Pocky chip and died the other day.
What are Pocky chips, Gerald? You'll have to familiarize me with that because
the one Joe took.
Yeah. Didn't Joe take one?
Yeah.
Joe, how bad was it actually?
I thought he took the Carolina Reaper.
No, it wasn't bad.
It was laced with the Carolina Reaper chip. It's a chip, Magic Man, but it's got it's got the pepper all over it.
Okay, that's what he had. Okay.
Yeah.
Some people's intestinal flora, man, it's different.
Well, especially at a younger age, you shouldn't be taking that stuff. But kids are kids.
Mm-hmm.
All they have to do is get dared to do something.
So when they take that, Gerald, is the cause of death like a heart attack or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's the second one in a year that I know of. And they even say it, kids shouldn't take this, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
They cover their ass on it, but these kids don't care. They sell them at 7-Elevens and all that stuff.
I'm gonna just look this up, but this looks like it's gonna go down as the worst playoff loss in Nuggets history.
M24 says it delivered trash cans to a restaurant here, and they gave me a free brisket sandwich with chips. A best day. Oh, M24, I can imagine. Terry Black's restaurant. Oh yeah, brisket's good. Texas, it's the best in Texas. I agree with you, but.
My exes live in Texas.
For tri-tip,
tri-tip.
Yeah, I'd love to take you guys over to that Frankie D's here in Vegas.
We're talking about food, and there's Soros singing about fucking Merle Haggard.
Gavin Netlux sucks. Now you have Chris Taylor up the bat, batting .071.
Gerald, trivia question time. What is the Lakers' largest margin of victory in a playoff game?
3.
Joe, shut the fuck up.
Must have been during the Showtime era, which never. I used to love.
No, man, it's 39. Come on, against the Spurs.
Nope.
It's got to be in the 40s.
Keep going.
50s?
Mm-hmm.
Was it in the 80s?
No.
Wow.
72-73. Lakers defeated the Golden State Warriors 126-70.
What a waste. Should have won that championship.
Yep. But Joe had the second highest margin of victory. 47. Lakers beat the Spurs 135-88 in the Showtime era, Gerald. So yeah, you guys were. And the Lakers' third highest margin of victory is 44 points. 153-109 defeated the Denver Nuggets 84-85. So do you think Minnesota beats them by more than 44, Gerald? Because
they're
that's
at 48 right now.
Yeah, their worst margin of victory is a loss to the Lakers.
I don't think so, because at the very end, you see like Denver would probably get like that cheap buckets.
By the way, they're on the opposite end too. They have the largest point margin, 58. 121-63, 08-09. By the way, that Denver team came the closest to, other than the Celtics, to beating Kobe and the Lakers.
Gerald, do you think that the Wolves have a legit chance in Game 7, or is this just a ploy by Adam Silver to get more tickets?
I've been having a hard time trying to figure this out, Nick, because remember I went on the air and I said if the Minnesota Timberwolves can play like they had played those 4 games, the ones against Phoenix on the road and the ones against Denver on the road, if that's the team you get, there is no one that's stopping them because they got just enough offense and their defense was just like swarming all over the place. Yeah, I mean, you saw a little bit of that today, but Murray had to have a really bad game in order for this to happen. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say Denver Game 7. I think Murray and Jokic are going to show up and ultimately get the win by about 7-10.
Sean, you agree with that?
Yeah, Nick, I do, because I think this reminds me a lot of that 08-09 series between the Lakers and Rockets.
Boy, if they lose though, Alan, my gosh, it's
'Cause
found money in Minnesota.
Remember, Houston just kicked us in the teeth in Game 6, Nick, and then we beat them by 40 in Game 7.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they didn't even show up. Something tells me that's gonna happen again. That they lost to a team on the rise, Alan. Minnesota's coming. That's what I was gonna say. The fact that they're taking them to 7.
With Sean, it has me scared, right? Because that means that they'll be tired if they face Boston.
Yeah. Wow, they might lose by 50 now.
Whenever the camera pans to DeAndre Jordan, it doesn't cease to amaze me that he's still in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Gerald, I think you said it once. He has a job because he knows where the bodies are buried.
I think he does know where them, especially, I don't know. He should have been out of the league after he left the Clippers.
Mm-hmm. And let's never forget, Mark Cuban once looked for him on the streets of Dallas because he desperately needed DeAndre Jordan in a Dallas Mavericks uniform.
And the ironic part about this, Sean, is that out of that team, right, that was with the Nets, the Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, James Harden, it was DeAndre Jordan who ended up with the ring.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I honestly, Nick, I think Chris Paul knew in his heart of hearts it wasn't going to happen with the Clippers. Do you remember the quote he had after the trade was rescinded?
Oh, with the Lakers?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember.
It was a 3-letter word. Wow. and then he had to delete it, but that's what he said. The internet's forever, Nick.
That veto cost Chris Paul
Couple,
at
least.
Yeah.
At least. I think in his heart of hearts, he knew he wasn't gonna. He had to make his peace with it quickly.
Well, thank you everyone for being on tonight. So, Joe, you don't know yet?
Gerald, this is the worst loss in Denver Nuggets playoff history. The Lakers beat the Nuggets by 45. The Minnesota Timberwolves tie them.
So Sean, just one thing on the comment you were mentioning about the chips and Joe as well. I guess we're saying that Kobe would have ended up with 7 chips. Is that right?
For sure, 6, 7, yes, possible, probably, likely. Because think about it, you would have had a prime CP3 with Kobe still able to play for at least 3 years like Kobe plays, and you wouldn't have had to have drained Kobe either.
You also would have had a prime Dwight Howard.
Even if Dwight Howard still left, you still had Chris Paul to build around with Kobe, and you would have had a chance to continue to upgrade the team. It's a discussion that we're still going to talk about this summer when Empire Jeff and I talk. There's information that Jeff has that apparently wasn't public. It was outwardly public.
Worst loss in playoff history for the Denver Nuggets previously was 44. Lakers defeated them 153-109, 44 points. Nuggets defeated by 45.
Sean, this might end up in the top 10 worst losses in overall. No.
No, Nick,
No?
but it's definitely in the top 20. Definitely in the top 20.
Yeah, Costas was like
Because the margin of victory they had was 58 against New Orleans, and now they've lost by 45.
Well, on that note, I don't know if the guys are doing a nightcap or not. So,
Because Soro can't make up his fucking mind.
Fine, let's do a nightcap right now.
well, you heard it, FL24. You asked for it. You're going to get it. Nightcap here with Joe Sorrell. Let me just, while you guys go, I'm just going to set the music and the tone for it while you guys do that. All right. So I guess you guys are going to get a nightcap. So more Joe. All right. And Mr. Sean Grice. I will let you guys go ahead and do that while I get things started. So on the audio for today's show with Stone. So, all right. You guys have fun with your nightcap then. And then we'll see you on the nightcap in just a few minutes. Thank you, everybody, on YouTube, Facebook, and also as well playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break for joining us. Big victory for Minnesota, and we'll see you here hopefully next time on the next playoffs game right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.